Okay, we are live. Okay, we are now live. Hi, welcome to today's live by Epepea. So our topic for today will be home organization, and on board we have Faith, who's the founder of Faith the Organizer. So I'll let her introduce herself first. So karibuni and engage with us. So welcome, Faith. Faith. So as we wait for Faith, those who have joined us, karibuni, and those who are here yesterday, maybe you can be sharing what you learned from yesterday's conversation as we wait for Faith. Okay, I think she's not back. Faith, karibu sana.
Yes,
Welcome.
asante.
Yeah, so maybe you can
Thank
now
you.
share.
You're breaking a bit.
Okay.
You're breaking a bit.
And now am I audible?
I can just hear some breaking on your side.
Okay, maybe you can be introducing yourself as we sort out the issue. Maybe you could introduce yourself.
Okay. You're still breaking, but I think you said I introduce myself.
Yes.
Okay. So here is Faith. My name is Faith Kaimba. Welcome all for those who've joined us for today's session. I'm excited about this. And, yeah, so Faith is a mother, a wife, a mom to two girls, two boys, and a professional home organizer at with Faith the Organizer.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm 38 years old. Yes.
Okay, thank you for introducing yourself. We have picked up that you're also a home organizer. So maybe you could share more about that, specifically what you do and how long maybe you've been doing home organization and how it's been so far.
So I have been doing this for about I started back in 2017. So this is like I'm almost going into my 5th year, and so far so good. Of course, it's not like it began slow, but with time it's catching up. And considering this was a new concept here in Kenya, so slowly people have been getting the concept and embracing it. And yeah, I thank Kenyans. Yes.
Yeah, sure. For sure, home modernization wasn't a major thing previously, so it's something new. And Kenyans are actually really embracing the home modernization, all about home decor, together with the internal interior designing. So it's something that we are proud of that Kenyans are also embracing as time goes by. Yeah, so
Exactly.
maybe you can share why you chose specifically home modernization from 2017 and maybe what you were doing prior to that that led you to realize, this is my passion.
Okay, that's exactly what happened. I just realized I had passion in this industry because there was nothing else really driving me to doing it. I must say that mm, what really drove me to doing it was the passion that I had. So
Yeah.
since I growing up, from the moment I was growing up, from what I'm told this thing has been in me. It's not like it started yesterday. So
Yeah.
slowly I grew up, I embraced it, and it was later that I realized I can do it. In fact, it's my husband who told me that
Ah.
I could try doing it for others.
Uh-huh.
Considering the systems that I had put in place in
Yeah.
my house,
Uh-huh.
yeah. So
Mm-hmm.
he's the one who a business idea. I was in the finance industry, working for a
Uh-huh.
stockbroker for about 11 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So
Yes.
maybe you could share what led you to actually saying, because finance is also a very big area. So other than passion, what made you really say, I really want to follow this path and do away with finance? Especially now in Kenya, at that time when you were starting, it wasn't home and deco and organization wasn't a big thing.
Yeah, exactly. Of course, there were lots of not sure. You know that you're not sure of what you're getting into. You don't know how
Mm-hmm.
people are going to take it, especially being a new industry here in Kenya. But
Mm-hmm.
let me tell you, when you follow your passion, everything else just follows behind you. And I
Yeah.
must say, I had to pray about it because for me to have
Mm-hmm.
made the decision of going into employment again was
Mm-hmm.
was quite a big decision for me to make. But
Yeah.
God helped me, and that's why I am here where I am today. And also the fact that the satisfaction that I get once I have completed a task, is
Mm-hmm.
I feel so good about. You know,
Yeah.
there's nothing good like doing what you like and what
Mm-hmm.
you
Yeah,
love.
sure.
You never
Uh-huh.
and when typing, it's
Mm-hmm.
just like an activity. You know that
Yeah.
once you get to doing like it, you don't, unlike the other times probably you're employed and you're in a field that you're not really feeling it so much. You're just doing it for money.
Yeah.
I feel so important that we try and get to do what we are passionate about, and more
Yeah.
so even we into our talent line, because that
Mm-hmm.
way nobody is going to force you into doing it. Nobody is going to
Yeah.
force you into doing it. Yeah. So let me
Mm-hmm.
say passion came first for me, and
Mm-hmm.
money came second.
Okay.
And I was looking also at the fact that how am I going to change? You know, how am I
Mm-hmm.
changing the people out there? My
Yeah.
back in my mind, I had the wife, you know, the mother back at home,
Yeah.
because most of these things are boiled
Mm-hmm.
down to managing the houses. And I was feeling
Yeah.
like we have so much into our basket, and I was
Mm-hmm.
like, help, you know. This is
Yes.
a working mom who has
Mm-hmm.
kids, they want to provide and they still want to help. But you might
Yeah.
find that in a household setup, you find things are just all over, things are just confused, you know, and
Yeah.
production is just low. Production is just low.
Mm-hmm.
Even for you, the working mom, when you go out of your house, you want to come
Yeah.
back, and our houses they should be receiving us, you know, they should be
Yeah.
welcoming. Now,
Mm-hmm.
when you get house, the first thing you step into are toys and shoes and books and what have you, and clothes that had been hanged from the lines like 2 days
Yeah.
on that corner seat. So that is kind of an environment I wanted to take out
Uh-huh.
and people, you know. something
Mm-hmm.
free. Yeah,
Yeah.
a peaceful place for them to be.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
so that,
actually a very great thing. Yeah, that's a very nice thing, especially where you've said you followed passion as compared to money, and the passion actually brought in now the money afterwards. And the thought of also changing the narrative that was previously there, and the thought of having a very organized home previously was something people would refer to as the Maju thing, quote unquote. So that's actually a very great thing. So maybe you can share how that has advanced and what the challenges you faced when you were starting, and maybe how you also changed some of that narrative from your clients to now maybe them not accepting the organization details and just being more welcoming to the whole idea of organization.
um, organization, when you hear the word organization, or probably big organized, sometimes even when I talk to people about what I do, the first thing that comes to their
Mm-hmm.
mind is the fact probably maybe I might be doing events, planning, and what have
Yeah.
you. But still,
Uh-huh.
when I get deep, talk to them and tell them that is not. This is what this and this and this is what I do. And everybody, at some point, in one way or the other, they find that they need these services.
Yeah.
Um, when I was starting, I
Mm-hmm.
had like really be able to put it out there to people to be able to understand exactly what we
Yeah.
do. So,
Uh-huh.
like for example, let me say in 2017, having found my first client, nowadays it's so hard to convince somebody by word of mouth. And when
Yeah.
you've done even sample work out there to be able to show
Mm-hmm.
what has become a challenge. So what I did,
Yeah.
I went back home and let
Mm-hmm.
me before I began this organizing work, I remember I had a challenge whereby I had moved out there and
Yeah.
house was in a mess, and
Mm-hmm.
at the time I just gotten my third born through a
Yeah.
CS, and that
Mm-hmm.
meant that I could not do much in my house, and we had just moved in. So the only thing I could
Mm-hmm.
think of was go online and search for
Yeah.
organizers in Nairobi. I searched for
Uh-huh.
organizers in Nairobi. I could not find
Mm-hmm.
any. And I
Yeah.
started asking myself, you mean they're
Mm-hmm.
not in Nairobi? That was back in
Mm-hmm.
2016. So
Yeah.
later, I really struggled with the work, and I managed to set up the place in a month's time. Friends and people would visit.
Wow.
I would tell them, "You're not coming to sit down. We are working
Yeah.
because my house is in a mess." So
Yeah.
having and that challenge, and it was like an eye opener. However, I did not
Mm-hmm.
give it because definitely, maybe that was
Mm-hmm.
where my focus was on. So later
Yeah.
now back is when now I thought I searched after my hubby opened up my eyes. I was like, I searched
Mm-hmm.
for, I did not find. By the way, why can't I try it? So you can imagine you are going into an industry whereby there
Yeah.
is nothing you can call to ask anything, or probably
Mm-hmm.
even do, um, you know, even turn
Yeah.
back to tell them this. So everything I had
Mm-hmm.
to sit, come up with planning and do so much. The first
Yeah.
challenge that I had was registration
Mm-hmm.
of my business. There is
Yeah.
no such thing in
Mm-hmm.
the when you're starting the such a business.
Company.
So that was
Uh-huh.
my challenge. They had
Uh-huh.
to I had to like them, and they had to fix me somewhere in one of those categories that they had.
Totally.
So that was
Yeah.
my challenge. But as
Mm-hmm.
I went myself, this is something that can grow. I can grow it.
Yeah.
I just began, by
Mm-hmm.
the way, purely organizing homes, but
Yeah.
later it grew and I introduced other services into it. To date, I
Okay.
see challenges
Uh-huh.
of the main challenge that I find is when a client can book, like they can say they're available on this date, and like maybe you book them, say probably you book them for Monday, and then
Yeah.
come Monday, or probably
Uh-huh.
even Monday, the client tells you, I'll not be
Uh-huh.
in. You see,
Yeah. Yeah.
what type of work I do, I need the client available, especially because I say
Uh-huh.
I am working in your personal space, you know. Not everybody
Yeah.
goes into your home, not everybody you
Uh-huh.
welcome in. So, unlike
True.
probably maybe kitchen or maybe the room, the bedrooms,
Yeah.
I need clients at home.
At,
I need them to be
yeah.
there because the kind of work I do,
Uh-huh.
um, I need to consult. We need to consult each other. It's very
Sure.
hard for right for you that this stuff has become small for you. This stuff
Yeah.
look good on you. So unless you're
Uh-huh.
there, that's when then my work can be can
Done.
after decluttering, which is the process of sorting
Yeah.
unnecessary. After
Mm-hmm.
decluttering, you
Mm-hmm.
find that you don't have to be there. I
Yeah.
can now do organizing purely
Mm-hmm.
or by myself.
Uh-huh.
The other challenge that I encountered is looking for people to assist me, because sometimes you might find some work that you so much
Yeah.
you want to reduce the number of days that you're at a client. So
Mm-hmm.
getting somebody who is thinking in the same line with you is a
Yeah.
task. But
Uh-huh.
slowly, I have been successful in at least getting some people.
Certain people. Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's interesting and learning more. And also, you've shared a bit about what decluttering is and organization. So maybe you can expound more on generally what organization is, so that as we kick off the conversation about home organization, someone can really understand what home organization is, and maybe how different is it maybe compared to interior designing or any other kind of organization that one can do at home. Yeah, what does it entail, or and how can someone go about it? Yeah.
Okay, so organizing is very different from interior design,
Mm-hmm.
completely different.
Yeah.
But one thing that I would not really separate organizing from, which is
Mm-hmm.
the interior, the part of storage. Yeah,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
because to organize,
Mm-hmm.
I must have storage. I must have
Yeah.
storage, and this
Mm-hmm.
is where some of our services we had to incorporate some of these things into our range of services. So currently,
Yeah.
Faith, the organizer, provides storage solutions whereby we do design and installation of
Mm-hmm.
of 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 cabinets and wardrobes, because
Yeah.
I realized that whenever you go to a client, uh,
Uh-huh.
they might probably they have the space, but they do
Yeah.
not have storage, and maybe they are
Mm-hmm.
capable or able
Yeah.
to put up. So I am currently doing is that I'm able to
Mm-hmm.
design wardrobes in it.
Yeah.
We also do
Mm-hmm.
installation of cabinets and
Mm-hmm.
shoe racks and the like, because it's very
Okay.
hard to put things in order.
Mm-hmm.
You should note, in fact, is that of clutter in most homes are the
Uh-huh.
shoes, the clothes,
Yeah.
the
Uh-huh.
paperwork, which are
Mm-hmm.
the books and filing, and
Mm-hmm.
the toys,
Yeah.
pencils to some large extent. Yeah, and for
Mm-hmm.
ladies, our dear bags and shoes. Yeah, so those are the sort of clutter
Mm-hmm.
in most homes generally, and
Yeah.
for every home you will find these things, and
Mm-hmm.
especially for those who are little children, you'll find toys.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we have come up with ways of coming up with the storage so that people
Uh-huh.
can so that things you know each and everything needs to have a home in
Yeah.
every household.
Uh-huh.
That way then to be able to see how organized you are, because you need
Yeah.
to relate when you think of something. Oh, where can I find it? And if you did
Yeah.
not put it where it is, then where will you find it? And then also considering, because of the fact that these houses, we don't live in them alone, we live with other people. We want them at least to be able to know where
Yeah.
things are.
Uh-huh.
Like every time something, I need to put it back so that next time somebody else needs it, they can also find it. But
Yeah.
unless you are organized, you will not achieve that.
Sure.
You'll not achieve that. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
So I cannot say being organized and interior decor is not per se the same, because interior decor will involve the things of how you're doing your lighting, you're doing your
Yeah.
paint job, how, so how you're
Yeah.
putting up the issues of the items like the mirrors, yeah, and what
Yeah.
have you, yeah.
Okay.
If you still need us to play part in your interior decor, we still do provide, but not to that extent of the professional way that it needs to be done. But we
Yeah.
still do have knowledge in interior decor, whereby we can help the clients achieve.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what we have understood is there are two different areas, but in terms of now, when it comes to now the storage, actually home organization starts from now where you bring everything together and put and store them somewhere. Then now you can now start organizing the home in general, right?
Yes. Because if you
Yeah.
do not have storage, it means things
Mm-hmm.
will be all over. Things will be
Yeah.
all over.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So maybe you could share a scenario uh, with a step by step on how maybe if someone wants to now start organizing their home as they also seek your services, maybe where do they start from and what are they required to do or plan before that. Maybe you can share a scenario using a home area and where maybe there are children. Considering most homes actually where there are children, that's where there's a lot of disorganization compared when maybe it's only adults.
Okay. So, for example, if I would look into a home whereby I'm required to provide the organizing services, and in
Yeah.
this house, I will find there is a mom, dad, and probably children, younger children, and
Mm-hmm.
a help. So
Uh-huh.
the first thing I do, I first get to know the needs of the client, because you
Uh-huh.
see, yeah, because you see, our needs are different per se, because maybe I'm good in one area and I'm not good in the other area. Maybe I'm able to organize things in the kitchen, but as per for
Uh-huh.
my cloth, I
Yeah.
don't touch. So once I get to know the needs of the client, and then we go, probably most of the times I get to organize the bedrooms
Yeah.
and the kitchen and the play areas.
Mm-hmm.
In this case, you will find it's more or less the same in most houses.
Yeah.
So I first do what is called decluttering.
Uh-huh.
Decluttering is the
Yeah.
is the process of sorting,
Mm-hmm.
whereby here I go with if it's in the bedrooms, I go
Mm-hmm.
in with 4 to 5 boxes. One of the box is they are labeled differently. So one of the
Mm-hmm.
box has the to keep items. The next
Yeah.
box has the throw in,
Yeah.
and where, oh, I mean, I have these clothes that are worn out, that are torn, that are
Yeah.
faded. I cannot wear them. Surely you cannot give that to somebody. So we put that
Yeah.
into the drawer. And then we have the donate box. In the donate
Mm-hmm.
box are some things that, yes, I have these clothes, I have these shoes, I have these guys. My kids do not use this, or probably I don't wear this, and they are in good condition after all. So those will be put
Yeah.
into the donation because you do not use them. I always
Yeah.
use them that yes, you might like, but do you
Mm-hmm.
use? Do you use
Uh-huh. Yeah.
what helps you be able to know where to place items? And then the
Uh-huh.
next box is a doubting box.
Yeah.
So the box, this is a box
Uh-huh.
which um, sometimes end up with a number of items because probably I'm not decided on where to put this, but
Yeah.
majorly I tend to find a lot of sentimental items in those boxes, or
Uh-huh.
probably things, maybe gifts that you've been given, maybe by friends. But when we gift, we never, sometimes we don't get to know that person. So you might gift me something that
Mm.
I don't really, I'll not be able to use. But because it was a gift, it would be very hard for
Yeah.
me to let it go, or probably
Let's
to give it. Yeah, so
mm-hmm.
that would be the box. And then when
Uh-huh.
I'm doing the children bedroom, I add another
Yeah.
box which pass
Uh-huh.
on, because you see, maybe
Yeah.
children, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
because you have children who are younger, and maybe those
Yeah.
items have been they are not worn out, yeah. And
Yeah.
really, you don't have, it's not a must for you to donate. You can pass it on to the younger ones, and
Mm-hmm.
and they get it without you having to buy other items. So
Yeah.
that's the kind of process of decluttering that we do. So after
Mm-hmm.
completing this in all those areas of arranging, we
Yeah.
now take the one box which is to keep.
Mm-hmm.
So the to keep is the box that we are going to organize.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, the to
Yeah.
keep box is the one now we are going to use to be able
Mm-hmm.
to put into your storage. Remember now, everything is out of your closet, it's out of your cabinet, everything is
Mm-hmm.
out completely. So we take this box
Yeah.
and now
Uh-huh.
we can have many to keep boxes. Yeah, once we
Mm-hmm.
feel, we sort it out, like we separate the items, if it's dresses together, tops together, like
Uh-huh.
that, until we get everything has been grouped together. So from there
Yeah.
now, we decide these are clothes for hanging, these are clothes for folding, these are this
Yeah.
needs to be like that.
Mm-hmm.
So we get that done, we now begin the
Uh-huh.
process of organizing.
Uh-huh.
Yes, we begin the process of organizing, and
Mm-hmm.
after completing each and every task,
Mm-hmm.
let me that if I'm handling the children things like the toys, I like
Yeah.
getting even from them. They have a
Yeah.
say. Like ask them,
Uh-huh.
do you like? How do you know? You get to know because you might throw something that they really like, and
Yeah.
you're not. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So consult on that. And then now, after everything is done, we've organized and our days are done and completed, the task is complete. We do something called
Mm-hmm.
the hand, whereby we now take the client through what we done, exactly what we have placed where, because maybe where you've been putting your tops, I have changed it
Uh-huh.
to put it
Yeah.
somewhere else. But in case
Uh-huh.
you have a preference, is we embrace
Mm-hmm.
it. We like you telling us, probably, maybe I always like these things here. If we find
Mm-hmm.
they should not, then we can advise accordingly. So we take you through the handover, we explain where everything is, and then
Yeah.
now we do called the training. The training is
Mm-hmm.
whereby we down with the households of that house, those that are
Mm-hmm.
available.
Mm-hmm.
Mostly I do the training on to the kids and the house help.
Mm-hmm.
If the mom of the house is available, I also provide that. So we
Yeah.
train you, because you see, you need to
Mm-hmm.
maintain this system that we have put in place for you. So you need to
Yeah.
maintain it. You don't
Mm-hmm.
keep on all the time,
Mm-hmm.
going back to mess once again. And from here, this is how we also give you advice on how to maintain. I think I've done a full video of how to maintain an organized home in my YouTube channel, and habits that you need to follow. I'll mention some of them here. So from now the training, we take you through all the steps of the system that we have put for you in place, and we also provide, we advise in case probably maybe you'd want us to step in, like maybe for maintenance routine services, then we would at a small going forward, maybe like once in a week or once in a month. I find this a lot with working moms who do not time to do it. We also provide the routine services, yes, maintenance routine services. So that is basically our work. And I like training the children because they are quite attentive, and most of them they really learn. They learn and they remember. They remember what they were taught, and they put it into practice. Yeah. I don't know if I've answered your question on the scenario.
Yeah, you have. So you've taken a scenario where it's a full family, where there's the mother, the father, and maybe the house manager and the children. So the best way is to first start with decluttering every area. And then after decluttering, that is where you sort out different items for the items that need to be kept. And then now those that are still in good condition but are no longer being used, those can be donated. And then others now which can be still passed over to other members. That is for kids, where you have maybe the firstborn has overgrown the clothes that they were using, so they can pass over maybe to their younger siblings. And then now other clothes you can keep, you can set them aside into a storage box where those are to be thrown. So that is part of the decluttering according to what Faith has told us. So once you declutter everything into the different boxes, the best way now after that is for the items that you have chosen to keep, you now sort them into the different categories that are needed. Then now afterwards, that is according maybe to, if it's the bedroom, you can sort them according to the clothes which you can sort them again further according to maybe if it's dresses, jackets, trousers, shoes. You just sort them into the different storage boxes. That way it will be easier for you. Once now you get to the last part, which is the storage, you're able to store them according to the way you've grouped them, making everything easier. So from what Faith has shared, the decluttering is actually the basics of everything that home organization entails. Then now afterwards, you can train the other members of the house on how to handle every item after you have stored them in the right areas. Yeah. So maybe Faith can share also. She has mentioned about now the storage and how to store them, and maybe there are different ways. You can store them, but you still end up finding that you have a bulk of items, or maybe how you've stored them in the house, it's not the right way. Maybe you have other clothes hanging outside the drawers, or maybe you still have quite a huge array of clothes. So maybe some accessories that you can use for proper storage. So maybe Faith, you could share that with us, the accessories that one can use for the storage.
Epepea?
Yeah. Yes, we can.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah. So I've just asked, maybe you can share just after you've highlighted about the different ways of decluttering and organizing. Maybe you could share with us how the different accessories that one can use when organizing, as at times you can find maybe you have quite a number of dresses and they can't all fit in your wardrobe. So maybe there are tools that you can use to hack maybe a limited space, or maybe in your washroom, maybe there's the space for storing maybe oils, shampoos, and all. Maybe it's limited. Maybe you could share some accessories that one can use for storage and organizing the home.
So I think I shared some of these photos. Do you have them?
Yeah, we do.
Okay. So for example, like what you're showing right there, that is a dish rack. That dish
Okay.
rack is in such a way that it takes each and every item. Is a dish rack drainer by the sink side. It can be used to save space in such a way that it can be mounted to the wall. So the space that you use beside the sink, below it will be free space, which you can use it to put other items. Yeah. And then it takes knives, it takes your spoons, it takes each and every. But and then also it has a draining rack below it. So this draining, whatever water that will be draining will be going into that tray, which you can pull out and pour the water into the sink drainer. What I need to note and tell people is that most of the time we find ourselves using the dish utensil rack drainers as storage for utensils. The rack drainer is basically for draining water once we clean our utensils. And once that is done, the utensils need to be taken from the rack and put into the cabinet, so that we create space for others. Otherwise, you will find that you're putting so much, and sometimes even you tell yourself, hey, this car utensil drainer is so small, it's not enough for my house. It's basically because you're taking out the utensils from the rack and you're using it as other than for the work that it is intended for.
Yeah. So maybe also on the space issue, maybe also at times continuous clearing of dishes in the sink, because at times you can find you pile so many dishes at once. So by the time you're washing, you have so many that they can't fit in the dish rack. So maybe also an organization technique is also, once you use some utensils or dishes, you can wash and dry them. Then now the next heap won't meet the previous heap.
Exactly. That is one tip for the kitchen, especially cooking. I always advise people to do what we call on the go. Clean on the go. Yeah, clean on the counter. Once you're done cutting, just take out the trash, put it into the trash basket, wipe off the countertop, and then clean up the utensils, because it can help you with time saving. It helps to be easy, and it are just probably the cooking pots that you are using and the plates that to eat. So you find that you have less work on your side. It's not, I can't say it's more of multi-cooking. I would call it cleaning on the go. It's very easy. Once you're done with it, just clean it up and put it. Yeah. Then once you're done, take out the utensils from the rack and put them in the, I'm sure most water has drained completely, you can wipe it off.
Yeah, so that's a very nice tip. Yeah, that's a very nice tip on cleaning on the go, which will also save on time at the end of it all. Maybe you could share about other accessories.
Yeah, so these are storage containers. I would probably maybe share a tip of how to store items that you have. When you're planning to store your items in containers, containers are easier to use and easier to reach and easier to find. And then, and like when you open up a packet and you put it when it is still open, you know, moisture in number one. Also now, maybe it can be contaminated in one way or the other. And then number three, you know, it's not looking neat like the containers. So when in containers, I would advise that you use the clear containers, because that way you're able to see what is inside even before you read, and grab it easily. Use the airtight containers to avoid moisture getting into your items, or probably even set. And then also remember to label the containers, because you see, you're not the only user in that house. You might probably be conversant with what you've put inside there, but when somebody else comes there, they need to be able to find that item easily. And these containers, try and put them on hands reach, especially the things that you're using often, maybe like spreading the bread spreads, you know, and things like that, the things that you're using for breakfast, because we also want to encourage our children to be doing these things on their own, not always for assistance. So I would advise that we try and put some of these things that we use more often into our reach, like hands reach, where we can reach them easily. And so put things where you use them. If it's the breakfast items, the oats, and what have you, put them together so that you are able to find everything at the same time. It's easy, saves you time. With the baking, put the baking items together. That you want to use them, then you can just reach out for the baking basket and get to do your baking so easily and put it back. And because baking we do every day, and like maybe unless you're doing it for business, then you don't have to put it on hands reach. That's what I meant when I said you put things that we use more often closer to you, other than things that you do not use more often. So these are some of the tips I said I would share.
Okay. So that's a very nice tips for storage containers, especially labeling them and using clear containers for ease of identifying what item you've kept in different containers, and also a great tip that Faith has shared.
I have forgotten to mention that whenever you pour out the contents from the packet, please remember the expiry date. And for ease, I always tell people to put the expiry date on the bottom of your container, and just put it as easy as, if it's April 2021, just say 04/21. That way you'll understand it, and it's easy and for everybody. So before you pour any contents into the other container, make sure you clean the container. Make sure the container you have put whatever was there, because the expiry date of what was there and what you're putting in is different. Always finish what was there before you pour out new contents into the container.
Okay, actually that's a very nice tip. I know I'm also a victim. You can pour, and then after that you forget details about the expiry, as compared to when you have the actual maybe plastic wrap that has the item expiry date. So that's actually a very nice tip over there, Faith. So maybe you can share about other accessories that one can use for storage or home organization.
So there are other items. We have a range of other items, like what you're showing right now is a can holder. In the fridge, by the way, need to be organized. We kind of relax because our visitors do not go into our fridges. You know, there's this in Kenya whereby we like making the places that are accessible to our visitors looking good and nice, and then forget about the hidden areas in our houses. That is probably like the fridge, which we forget a lot. Cleaning cleaning it, because you cannot organize a dirty fridge. Make it a
Yeah.
habit of your fridge. And I tell people, if you can't clean your fridge yourself because you
Yeah.
know how to do it better, as much as we are training, at least once in a while, even if our helps are cleaning, try and do it also on yourself by yourself. And then also, what you're showing right there are can holders. You are aware most cans, if you put them in the fridge, they topple over, they fall, and then they take a lot
Yeah.
of space. So this one here helps you
Mm-hmm.
organize your. And it can also take bottles of yogurt. It cannot necessarily cans. It can take,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
bottles of soda. Yeah. So when we are organizing our homes, let us not forget
Mm-hmm.
about hidden spaces, our hidden places like the fridge. The fridges are
Yeah.
our very important areas, because that's where we store our food. So they need to be
Mm-hmm.
clean, need to be well organized, such that I would advise that you place things that are, you visit there more often, be able to place things that are expiring closer to the door, so that you get
Yeah.
to use them fast,
Mm-hmm.
to
Yeah.
use them so that the ones that are coming in can go to the back. That
Mm-hmm.
way you end up with spoiled foods, and we don't want to waste food. We don't want
Yeah.
to waste food. Yeah.
Sure.
Mm.
Okay, that's very true. Especially in Kenya, people hardly remember about the fridge. So that's a very nice tip over there that people should also not only remember the places where when a visitor comes, they says, "Ah, this is beautiful," but then behind the scenes, it's messy.
Yes.
So let's all remember about those hidden areas, the fridge, maybe rooms that are not oftenly accessed. So yeah.
Yeah, maybe so something I can mention about the fridge is that please avoid storing your milk on the doors of your fridge, because for longer for the milk to last long. There's this concept that I don't know who told people that milk should be on the door. No, 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 milk should not be on the door. Also, some of the items that don't necessarily need to be in the fridge, things like
Mm-hmm.
tomatoes, they fill up our fridge for nothing. They don't
Mm-hmm.
necessarily have to be in our fridge, because
Uh-huh.
uh, you can even try and read about things that do not have to be in our fridge. We fill them
Okay.
up much, whereas some of the
Uh-huh.
things can be out to create space and room for other important items. So whatever you showed right there is a remote holder. These are the things that is
Mhm.
up in our living rooms and our family rooms
Yeah.
every time we want to use them. So
Mhm.
that folder there, you can use it while you can place it on either way, or just
Mhm.
like it's been shown, and
Yeah.
it can to four remote.
Mhm.
Uh, you place it where everybody can see it.
Yeah.
Let people know. Like I always say, in my 10 habits of being organized, I have said that
Mhm.
please communicate to your household, the people you're staying with, your
Yeah.
expectation of the kind of organizing system that you've put in place in your house.
Mhm.
Communicate so you do not end up, sorry,
Yeah.
I have a problem with my lighting.
Okay.
You do not end up getting frustrated. Is
Yeah.
always in, yeah. So
Mhm.
if you, for example, bought some of the organizing items, and
Yeah.
you are placing it there and you're not telling them, you will be
Mhm.
frustrated. Communicate
Yeah.
and tell them, you need to be seeing these remotes here. Next time
Mhm.
I house, let me not find the remotes, behind the cushions, under the cushions, behind under the
Yeah.
seat. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
all you're looking for a remote. And by the way, you're looking for that remote and you're forgetting that you can switch on the TV without the remote. So
Yeah.
let us put them closer to ourselves. Let us
Mhm.
put them where they can be seen. Let us put
Mhm.
them where they can be seen, because they are things that are being used often. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's actually nice. For the remotes, you find them actually hanging everywhere, and at times they get lost and they're just under the cushion. So this is a nice accessory for everyone who wants to also manage their organization and to end the habit of where is the remote and it's just maybe under the cushion because of mishandling it. Yeah. So maybe you can share more about other accessories.
Oh, that is traveling storage bag. Like when you're traveling, especially when you have these kids, or probably even maybe one of the partners in the house travels a lot. You can use
Mm-hmm.
this to pack the clothes in different bags, and some
Yeah.
of the bags you can put small clothes in one bag. You can put shirts in the other, so it's easier for you to organize these bags into your suitcase, and it's also easier for you to reach them out when you arrive to your destination.
Okay.
Yeah.
So those are very nice tips and accessories that Faith has shared. So maybe you can share about some transformations and then maybe transformations that you have done in people's houses, and then share maybe where people can find you.
Okay. That would have been better if yeah, you can show that the previous slide, the previous
Okay.
yeah, like that is an example of a before photo of a
Mm-hmm.
pantry that I was supposed to organize. So this is what I found, and
Yeah.
we had to sit down with the client and come up with solutions, and be
Mm-hmm.
able to know how we are going to help them. And this work took us about 4 days. The pantry is quite huge.
Mm-hmm.
That's one of the section. And
Yeah.
maybe you can show the after of that pantry. Yeah. So as you can see, that is what came out after. Yeah. So we had to come up with containers, and then also there's another section that probably is not there, that is showing some of the items that are not in use, like the stock up shopping that was
Mm-hmm.
other side. So this is
Yeah.
what is being seen is what the client sees when they enter the pantry, because they use those things more often. That's what I was calling ants rich. So
Uh-huh.
what else is not being used all the time is either on the
Mm-hmm.
topmost or probably
Yeah.
on the side. Yeah. So
Mm-hmm.
we bought the containers that were not there.
Mm-hmm.
We were also able to reuse some of the containers that she had, and then we did the
Yeah.
labeling some of them. Yeah. And
Mm-hmm.
the shelves there for the groceries. Yeah, it was
Yeah.
quite some work, I can say. Also, we also
Mm-hmm.
learn every day. Not that we are perfectionists completely. We also learn. We get to learn, because you see, if something, maybe what you can see there doesn't have to work for your house. So when we see your house, we can give you something different depending on your space. Yeah, don't
Oh,
feel like
yeah.
like that. You see, you achieve depending on what your space is and what is available,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, for you. So the other
Yeah.
slide, those were the leads.
Mm-hmm.
The that's how the lead is thought. You can bear me witness.
Mm-hmm.
Were to look for something in that drawer, you will end up
Yeah.
putting down so that you can
Mm-hmm.
get what you're looking for, if probably it is on the bottom.
Yeah.
After we worked on the kitchen, the next slide probably should show you about the how the drawer looked after. Yeah. So like
Mm-hmm.
that, it's just a matter of just touching the lid that you need, and
Yeah.
sorted. Yeah. You
Uh-huh.
don't need to do anything. So here we used some lid organizers to be able to
Mm-hmm.
And then we put a drawer divider, which helps us to divide the lids from the
Yeah.
containers. Yeah.
Okay. These are very good transformations. Like the pantry, one can't say the before was actually that's how it looked before, the whole transformation. So yeah, you can see the work that Faith does, which is very amazing. So maybe Faith will share about where people can reach her, her social media accounts, and where her office is located, so that if you want to get such a transformation at home, if you're unable to do the organization alone, Faith can actually come over and organize for you. So Faith, maybe you can share your contacts and maybe where people can reach you.
Okay, yeah. So there's so much to be said about organizing. We can take a whole week to talk about organizing, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I can say that currently, because some of the clients, I'm still taking jobs and working on site for clients. But in case probably you're not able to, you want to do the job on your own, maybe you have the time but you do not have the technique. I also offer virtual online consultations, whereby we discuss about your home through a video, and
Mm-hmm.
I may give the solutions for you. So you can
Mm-hmm.
reach me in either my contacts
Mm-hmm.
0704 488 188, or you can reach us on Facebook, Faith the Organizer. You can also reach us on Instagram, Faith the Organizer. We are also on YouTube, Faith the Organizer, and you can also send a WhatsApp. The line that I've given is also available on WhatsApp, on business WhatsApp. So yeah,
Mm-hmm.
uh, we are available all wide. Our contact address, we are based on the Northern Bypass, just near
Mm-hmm.
the new referral hospital, just near there, and at Total Petrol Station. So
Yeah.
yeah, yes,
So maybe you could repeat the phone number so that those who might not have gotten it to maybe jot it down.
0704
Mm-hmm.
488 188. The same number is available on Airtel,
Yeah.
073.
07.
33 for Airtel.
Okay, 33 then 488.
188, yes.
Okay. Okay, so thank you so much, Faith, on that. Um, and thank you to all those who have joined us. So remember, you can consult Faith about your home organization and maybe further questions you have concerning home organization. So thank you so much, Faith, for coming on board. Remember, you can shop online about different home organization items and also Faith's item from Epepea. So you can just go directly to epepea.com, and then from there you can be able to shop. And also, if you don't have the time to shop, you can still send your shopping list to Epepea on our Facebook pages, and we'll be able to shop for you and deliver directly to you. So thank you so much for those who have joined us. Maybe Faith, you could give a parting shot before we close.
Yeah. I want to, maybe what I can say is we love looking good. We love looking beautiful. We provide time for our hair, for our manicures, and we even provide budgets for our clothes, our wardrobes. Our shoes will
Yeah.
match looking good. So I want to pose a challenge out there. We are looking good,
Mm-hmm.
going out looking good. Whatever people see in you, whatever people, the first thing they see when they see you is your appearance, how you're looking. Have you ever asked
Yeah.
yourself, how does my home look? How does my
Mm-hmm.
home look? Does what people see outside me see it in my house? So I would want
Mm-hmm.
people to take that as a challenge and act on it, and don't feel
Yeah.
like putting so much time into your homes.
Yeah.
Spend time organizing, and you will
Mm-hmm.
spend less time looking for those things. And our homes will be peaceful places to stay in. We'll always have time for families, to spend time with them. So if you have that work which you feel that you do not have time, then that is where I come in, to be able to assist you, so that you can use that little time that you have to spend with your family, and make our homes look like us outside there. Us portray ourselves, portray our homes, to show ourselves like our homes, and don't you visitor and you feel, oh, this is the time to work on your house. No, let your house look good all the time. Don't make your houses look good for your visitors. Make your houses look good for you, because you are the people staying in there.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for listening to me, and I'm honored to be part of this with Epepea. You can find some of my products on Epepea as well.
Yeah, so thank you so much, Faith, for sharing also the knowledge you have on home organization. It was a pleasure getting the tips, and I'm sure the audience has enjoyed and they have learned quite a lot from you. So thank you so much for all those who joined us. Remember to shop at Epepea, and also you'll have your shopping delivered within 3 hours. You can also send over your shopping list, and we'll have your shopping shopped for you and delivered. So thank you so much, and stay tuned on Epepea. Asante sana, Faith.
Thank you.
Okay.